So it's the early game of Minecraft, and you want to start building farms. You're tired of having to get all your resources manually, but you just don't know where to start because, unfortunately, yeah, farms are hard. That's why I'm here today to show you 5 easy early game farms to help you get very critical resources from food, to crops, to XP, and as well as villagers and all the stuff that they unlock for you. So let's get right into it. Now, I won't be doing tutorials today, especially since most of these farms are very simple, as well as you can find tutorials of similar farms online. However, if you do want to check out the farms in more detail, there will be a world download down in the description. As well, if you really want to see a tutorial on one of these farms, make sure to drop a comment down below and I might do one. So yeah, just let me know about that. Anyhow, let's get started with a food farm. Now, as we all know, food is very critical, and everyone wants to get the best food in Minecraft. And that's why I created this very simple cow breeder. So essentially, how to use it is you breed all the cows up here, which you can get up there via a ladder. As you can see right here, I'm just sitting here and breeding. And then what I can do is kind of hop down here and use my wheat, and the baby cows will actually pop on out down here where they can again grow up, and you can go ahead and kill them with a sword. It's preferably with a fire aspect to get all of your steak. So let me grab one of those swords and we can see how it goes. Alright, so I got a fire aspect sword. You can also use a normal sword and just smelt until you can get the enchantment. And as you can see, I'm obviously killing some babies here. We don't want to wait for them to grow up. But as we swipe away, what we'll find is we're getting ourselves some good old tasty steak, which is absolutely exactly what we want, as well as leather, so you can make an enchantment table out of this. Alright, let's move on to a couple of crop farms. Next up on our list is a pumpkin and melon farm, and these can be used to trade with villagers to get some early game emeralds, which we'll get into a villager breeder in just one moment. And of course, this works for both pumpkins and melons. I just have a pumpkin farm set up here. Obviously, this is a super small design, and it's also expandable. I definitely recommend making it bigger, because obviously this isn't really going to produce that many pumpkins given the fact there's only 3 stalks. So I definitely recommend making it bigger, but for the purpose of this video, I just did a very small farm. But it's really quite simple. This is really all the redstone to build it. You probably build it just by looking at it right here. Essentially the way it works is every time a pumpkin grows, the observer detects the change in the stalk, and then the piston pushes the pumpkin into the hoppers and it's collected in the chests over here. So a very simple pumpkin and melon farm to get yourself some pumpkins and melons so you can able to trade with your farmer villagers over there. Next up on our list is a super simple sugarcane farm. This farm's a little bit bigger than this one, but it's also super cheap. Just taking a few observers, some redstone dust, and about a few pistons. You actually can only build, you can build just one side of this farm, or even make it a little smaller, or even a little bigger if you want. And the way this works is every time one sugarcane grows on that side, all the sugarcane's harvests, and then eventually collected in the chest down here. And we do that in 4 different modulars like this, just so it runs a little bit faster and it's not dependent on a single piece of sugarcane growing. Now, of course, you might be wondering, what am I going to do with all the sugarcane? Well, it's useful for a couple things. First, you can start gathering up paper, so when you get rockets and elytras, you'll have plenty of paper to craft rocket to fly off your elytra, as well as the fact you can use sugarcane to trade with some villagers, which is the next farm we're going to take a look at. But this farm's really simple. Just flying around it, you should be able to build it, but if you do want a tutorial on some of these farms, I'd definitely be willing to do a video, so just let me know down below. And next up is this super simple villager breeder. This is heavily based off Logical Geek Boy's design, which I will link down below with a couple of differences just to make it look a little simpler. As you can see, we just got a couple villagers up here. The farmer is harvesting the crops, sharing them with his buddy here, and then they're breeding. And then once the babies are produced, they run over here and just jump onto the beds and fall down below and are collected right here. We're able to use boats to get them out of this little hole. As you can see right here, if I kind of push up the boat, I should be able to get a villager relatively easily. It might take a little bit of time, but I was able to get them out at one point before. Yeah, there you go. Very easy. Just break that glass block and you already got yourself a couple villagers. So this is very useful. Villagers are obviously some of the most useful mobs in Minecraft, just because you can trade them with so many different items. You can actually get early game diamond armor and tools off of them very easily, as well as just get emeralds to get golden carrots for food and whatnot. I will link my emerald guide down below that'll explain villagers more in depth and let you know what villagers trade for what, so you're able to capitalize on that and get as many emeralds as you need and get yourself some diamond armor. So make sure to check that emerald guide out down below. And the last farm up on this list is actually one of my most popular tutorials of all time, and that is, of course, a super simple zombie piglet XP and gold farm, which I will link my tutorial for down below. The way this farm works is essentially we pick a place in the nether that has a lot of mobs spawning, pretty flat, a lot of these guys running around, and what we can do is we can actually go find a group of them. And of course, I just turned it to hard mode, so they are continuing to spawn in. But we can actually go, say, find a group of one, either with our sword or with a bow or some snowballs, something cheap and easy. Aggro a few and just start running around, and more will begin aggroing. Might have to throw a couple more snowballs at them. But overall, eventually, we'll get a big group of them aggroed on us. And I'm going to cut here, but eventually they'll all come in towards us. And we hop up on this ladder. And we stand right here, kind of on the edge of this block. And they will all run into our trap, just like so, getting a ton of piglins. Or we can go down there and obviously just, swipe them away with our sword, just like so, getting ourselves some easy XP as well as some easy gold and rotten flesh, which gold is obviously a useful resource, and rotten flesh, once again, can be used to trade with villagers, so 2 pretty useful drops for the early game. And as you can see, we're already at nearly 5 levels. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun creating it and compiling this list of farms. Obviously the video took quite a bit of effort because I had to build as well as design some of these farms. This cow farm is a new design of mine, as well as the pumpkin and melon and sugarcane farms I had to build up, as well as the breeder. So I'd really appreciate a sub down below. It doesn't really help you out, but it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, as well as hopefully allow me to get monetized so I can make better content for you guys. I'm in a desperate need of some software upgrades and some server upgrades and whatnot. But other than that, guys, I really do hope you have an easygoing day, and I appreciate you watching till the end. Have an easygoing day, as I already said like 5 times, and I will catch you all later. Bye!